Hello and welcome back to G-Star Hearthstone SuperFight Korea versus the world. That's a really long title, isn't it?
It is, but Korea 1, rest of world 0 is a bit shorter right now. Korea with a player through to the semi-finals, rest of the world, none as of yet.
But next up is a lot of people, including your favorite European Hearthstone player, or used to be anyway, one of the best players, I think, internationally for the longest time. It's Xixo.
Yeah, Xixo, you say for the longest time because he hasn't played quite as much recently, but he's still playing with Planet Oz, still getting the results with them, still doing fine, but of the 4 Europeans here, he's the only one who's had nothing to do with the World Championships whatsoever. His best finish is top 12 at a prelims.
Now, I don't think that's entirely fair, because he is teammates with Surrender and Hoy. Both of them have made it through, obviously. And of course, Xixo will have been a huge part in helping them get there.
So who will Surrender be cheering for in this next match?
Xixo.
All right.
I think Xixo.
So he's a traitor then?
I honestly think the three of them are very, very close. Yeah, if you're going to be patriotic, then yeah. And Surrender is here as well. We saw him backstage. He's not part of the tournament, but he has come. He was hanging out with Xixo and Hoy backstage. I think he's here to cheer on his teammates.
I also want to point out, we've been on about how loud the Korean commentators have been. 2 of those guys are big tournament winners. So, yeah, they can't just play, they can scream with the best of them while they're at it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Xixo here, taking on to SeolDaBi. SeolDaBi, we've got the stats on him here. He basically won every preliminary round game. He had to play all 5 rounds, didn't get any buys. And then pretty much cruised through his group as well, 5 and 2. So he's done really well. His profile, literally, that we have given to us, I couldn't find it on him. Profile says rookie.
Oh, okay. Well, his opponent definitely is not a rookie.
Yeah, Xixo famously, when he wasn't getting invites to events like this, he won a 256-man qualifier to an event, and then didn't get invited back the next month. So he won it again. 256-man best of 3, he won it twice in a row. And so if anyone's good at beating rookies, it is Xixo.
Now, I don't know if this is up to date. I think it probably is. It says here, Xixo, Hearthstone ranking 13.
Yeah, I think the rankings are sort of a little bit behind at the moment. I don't think anyone's actually maintaining them as such, so a pinch of salt with that. Sure. But I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if you go through all the players who've done well recently. Xixo isn't one of them.
No.
I can name 12 players who've done better than Xixo recently.
And I'm sure a year ago, at one point, I think he was number 1.
Yeah, him, Pavel, Orange were like taking it in turns for a few months.
That's right. I was at an event with him and Pavel, and Thorson beat Pavel in a game. And Xixo said to me, oh cool, I'm number 1 in the world now.
Wow.
I remember that just being one of the occurrences that happened there.
Well, Xixo looks thrilled to be a part of this event. Come on, Xixo, wake up. Xixo preparing himself for a long one. He has brought Warrior, Paladin, Druid, and Mage. Now, either he hasn't played Hearthstone for 6 months, which is definitely not true, or he is bringing a very strange strategy. And when Xixo brings strange stuff, Xixo does well.
Yeah, no priest, no rogue, and yeah, I was about to say no druid. That's not fair. Druid is there, but banned. Obviously banned. Like, if your opponent is bringing 4 decks and only one of them is one of the popular decks, you ban it. You ban it instantly. You don't even think about it. You get rid of it.
Meanwhile, SeolDaBi, reasonably predictable. He did bring Priest, Rogue, and Druid through the playoffs. That's what he's brought again. They were Highlander Priest, Jade, Druid, Keleseth, Rogue. No surprises there. And then he has messed around with his 4th class, and he's done that again. He's brought Paladin today.
It is, it's sort of unfair on both fronts this tournament, because the invites have so much information based off the qualifiers. That's kind of an extra advantage.
Yes.
But then they've had to travel so far to get here. They're going to be so fatigued, whereas the players that have qualified, the Koreans, they've not traveled nearly as far.
Yeah, Hubble couldn't get the hotel Wi-Fi to help him, so he got no practice last night. Orange's got no luggage. Something always goes wrong for Orange when he's traveling.
What is going on in front of us? Okay, it wasn't caught on camera, but there was a lot of smoke suddenly.
Wow.
This is a big event. A lot of
This
budget
is
has gone into
insane.
this. Okay, Xixo definitely aiming to give us a long game here, but it's not going to be a long game because he's against SeolDaBi's. It's going to be Jade Druid, of course. I was about to say Aggro Druid, but because I saw Mark of the Lotus. But obviously Fandral and Swipe tell a different story.
So Xixo is going to go with whatever you want to call Control Warrior these days. I want to call it Control Warrior, but it's very much a slow, grindy Warrior deck, which tends to win via fatigue. He's going to need some Geists, and I'm sure he's got them in there, at least one of.
Yeah, this is going to be a very interesting game. And I think, yeah, when the Geist gets drawn is going to be a huge factor.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing because the Jade Druid does okay, even without the Jade Idols, for about 15 turns.
Yeah.
And it can just win, especially with the hand it has. It has no ramp, but if it gets going, Kun into another thing like Ultimate Invitation will just win. But
Xixo has 2 win conditions. One of them is play Geist on turn 6. The other one is get a very early craziness off and shuffle it and get it again.
yeah, that's the thing that you can do for sure. Be very. I'm curious to see how he goes, but he's going to be able to occupy the board. Now, one of the things that Xixo loves to do is occupy the board. It means you have to use less removal on actually killing minions. If you can use your 4/3s to do so, that is great.
So SeolDaBi having to work out whether he needs to Wrath away this Acolyte in one hit or whether he can just Wild Growth.
Yeah, he wants to Wild Growth. He really wants to Wild Growth because then he can Nourish and Wrath on the same turn, the turn after. But if he waits, Xixo will have so many options to do Whirlwind effects.
Slamming that Acolyte seems pretty good, for example.
Yeah, this Acolyte's done its job now. That's the problem. Either SeolDaBi has taken the cards away, the Acolyte's job has been done just by wasting all that time anyway.
All right, well, Xixo, he's not exactly known as a slow player. Slams that Mountain Fire armor down. Doesn't need to think about it, but it is quite an obvious turn. What else are you going to do? Shield block?
Very important against a player who is defined by the word rookie to put them under some pressure as well.
Yep.
And that is one thing that is hard about playing at Xixo, is to keep your own pace of play. You still have 75 seconds, but the trap is that you stop using those seconds.
Yeah. And looking at the current state of the game, I wouldn't be surprised if Xixo's next turn is just slam down the second Mountain Fire armor.
Yeah, I think you might be right, depending what happens, but it looks like nothing much is going to happen here.
It's Jade Idol or no Jade Idol.
Yeah, and it doesn't do anything, so you might as well keep it in hand. Actually, it doesn't do nothing. It actually protects against Geist if you play it down now and advances your Jades, but it's fairly niche to do that.
Look at that, instant snap play. That's the Xixo we know and love.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure he's doing it on purpose as well. He does do that anyway, but I feel like he's really trying hard to use absolutely no time at all for these obvious plays.
Well, he's able to use the time it takes his opponent making his turn. Xixo's using that to think. He doesn't need the extra time. All he needs to consider is, was the card I just drew worth playing instead? And if the answer is no, he just plays the turn that he's already planned out.
Yeah, if Turbo Hearthstone ever becomes a thing, Xixo will be #1 in the world again in no time. Like, he is still the fastest player. And there are more and more fast players around these days, but he's still the fastest.
This he is having to think about, though, because trading in one of these Mountain Fire armors, slamming the other, and then playing the Battle Rage suddenly becomes a play.
That is a lot of cards, and he will be looking for that Geist.
It's so important that he
You've got
draws
to
it.
constantly count, is it too many cards? Now this time it's not, but it is a mistake you can make to just go to 10 by accident. And even the Xixos of this world are capable of messing that up.
Gonna go with the simpler play.
Yeah, it feels there's no way that his opponent's going to take these down that he's that bothered about.
Interesting that he doesn't swing the weapon.
Right, so that's there for the long haul. He's actually going to use that for damage.
Now the Battle Rage will certainly be played.
Yep, going to need it.
There's N'Zoth, that's a good draw. But it's good to have, it's not good for immediately. But. Oh, and there's the Geist.
Yeah, a bunch of garbage in general, but he'll be relieved to have that Geist in his hand. He is going to have more pressing matters of the immediate board, but there's nothing really, like SeolDaBi's not really putting anything down to be too threatening right now.
Well, this is relatively straightforward. Trade one into the 1-3, trade the weapon and the other into the 1-5. Maybe slam for an extra cycle.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he's trying to work out if there's a way he can do it without losing much health on these. If he can represent 8 damage, he wants to play on swipe if possible. If he can somehow kill one of these without actually getting it swiped, then he will want to do that. But yeah, deciding there is no other play. I think this is the play he would have seen in half a second.
Hey, if you get swiped, you gain a ton of armor.
Yeah. I feel like he spent the whole turn trying to find an alternative play to the obvious one there, though. Because he can just kill his opponent 3 or 4 turns should these connect. But you're right. If these stay up, armor will be if these don't stay up, armor will be a thing.
I honestly think the Mountain Fire armor, and these cards in general that say, if it dies on your opponent's turn then, I think they're some of the most interesting cards that we've seen designed in recent expansions.
Yeah, I don't feel they've been abused. We've seen the Skeleton being abused in Paladin briefly with all the buffs. It's like, kill it or die. But the problem is that silence is a fairly big thing.
Yeah. But Mountain Fire armor sort of fits the bill perfectly because it's got that extra additional benefit of coming back from the Zop. It just fits so nicely into this deck.
Yeah, it's looking really good. And Xixo doesn't need a whole bunch of stuff to really get motoring here.
So he can just shield slam first and then play the Geist. It feels like a waste of shield slam.
I think that's a waste of shield slam. Not necessarily because the shield slam now, but you want it in your hand to get it back for more shield slams later.
It gets destroyed by the Geist.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, so you might as well. Sorry. Good call.
So obviously he's not going to play the Geist yet.
Yeah, I forget the Geist is actually, this is why you don't play Geist in Priest.
Yeah, I mean, I was a little bit puzzled when I first saw the shield slam, because I feel like a lot of these Fatigue Warriors haven't run it, and that's going to be one of the main reasons why.
Yeah, I'm waiting for a deck to be built where people actually run a load of 1-drops on purpose and Geist their own stuff as like a positive synergy. I think that's a thing that will happen.
Almost in the same way that they tried the Hemet Priest with Benedict.
Right, exactly, yeah.
Benedictus, and yeah.
And we're seeing Curator in some priests now for the sort of the same idea on a smaller scale.
So now might be a better time for Xixo to go Shield Slam Geist, because he still gets better use out of the Shield Slam, and he still destroys as many 1-mana spells.
Yeah, I wonder when he's actually going to go, guys. There's no hurry to do it. You want to do it fairly soon, obviously.
Well, actually, there's no hurry whatsoever, because one Jade Idol's already been played, so the next one's being shuffled anyway.
Yeah.
So unless
but there's a Fandral, maybe?
Well, yeah, okay, so Fandral plus Jade Idol is the punish for not playing it. The other punish is Shuffle, Nourish, and then Jade Idol. They are the only 2 punishes. Looks like now's the time, though.
Yeah, as you said, play the Shield Slam first, get it out of the way.
Very clean removal there.
Yeah, managing to generate a board. So the Geist is going to get more than just the removal that it wants to do.
The Geist, they're showing everything that it just destroyed.
Double Marker Lotus in that lot as well. Very common tech in Druid now. Here's everybody's least favourite play in Hearthstone, I think. Other than maybe Shadow Step Keleseth.
Certainly a strong play. But Xixo, having removed a lot of SeolDaBi's future Jade Golems, he's going to be feeling more comfortable. He's got one of the extra Death Rattle minions. He needs to draw a Dead Man's Hand, and then he can get going with these N'Zoths.
Yeah, he doesn't even need to, I mean, all he needs to do is just find ways to keep killing stuff, because Druid, when it loses those Jades, it has more stuff than you think, but it's not a lot of stuff. It does run out, so the Warrior can just remove every single threat and win in Fatigue now. He hasn't managed to get enough damage through from those mountains earlier on, the 4-3s, to really do anything too damaging. So now he is just going to remove every threat and not worry about anything else.
One of his main focuses is going to be making sure that he's removing the cards from his hand that he doesn't want to be shuffling in.
Yeah.
Blood Razor is one of those cards.
Yeah, it's a very, very hard deck to play. Maybe some versions of this, the hardest ever to play in all of Hearthstone.
Sure.
There's not necessarily huge punishers, but if you're not careful, you just end up with a handful of sleep with the fishes or something.
Yeah, you have to be incredibly carefully, precisely which card you're shuffling. I don't think that the N'Zoth version is as difficult as some of the other versions
I
we've
agree,
seen.
I do agree.
But it still matters. Like, you want to get the Battle Rages, you want to get the Cold Light Oracles if you're running them.
Yeah, the N'Zoth version can just win with the N'Zoth. Some of the versions just can't win if you mess up at any point.
Exactly.
And they are just regarded
like
as
the old, I think it was Rage's Arcane Giants version.
Yeah, that's such
you had
a hard
to shuffle
deck.
like the exact correct 4 or 5 cards.
You just end up with garbage in your hand every time if you don't think about what you're doing.
Yeah.
So Xixo has options to draw lots of cards, but he is just going to have to find some armor soon as well. The board's starting to get awkward. Luckily for him, he only has to deal with maybe 4 more Jades in the whole game, maybe 5. I think it usually tops out at 9 if you get the idol off. So, got a bit of time.
I like this. I think you just play the shield blocks, you start cycling, you want to get to this dead man's hand. You want to make your hand a better shuffle. Sleep with the Fishes is an okay shuffle against Jade Druid, I think, if you're hitting both. Execute's a good shuffle. Brawl's a good shuffle.
Got to kill something though.
Are we brawling? Sleep. Okay. Okay, this is really nice. Wait, do my eyes deceive me, or is Xixo roping?
He is roping, and Xixo's always done this. Whenever he doesn't know what to do, it's because he hasn't been there before. When he knows what to do, it's because he's seen the position before, doesn't need to think, and flashes out the play. When he doesn't know what to do instantly, it's because he's not seen the position before or isn't comfortable with it. And that makes him take all the time in the world, because there's no reason not to at that point. Well, another Jade off the top for SeolDaBi, and that's a godsend for him, because he's starting to run out of things to do. Xixo's starting to get the upper hand, although he is running out of cards himself.
Are we going to see Fandral come down as well? It seems very nice.
Well, you don't need it for much. It's not that great with Nourish anymore, because you've got Ultimate in your hand anyway.
Yeah. It's nice with the hero power.
It is.
That is about it.
But you're not dying to lack of health anyway, you're dying to running out of things.
Remember when you could Fandral Raven Idol?
Yeah.
That was pretty nice.
Well, a lot of people couldn't because they Raven Idol on turn 1, but yeah, I could handle Raven Idol.
Yeah.
Well, I think SeolDaBi should drop this Fandral, but he just doesn't seem to have much of a use.
Okay.
But
well,
he's going to clear up instead.
This is safer against a Brawl.
It is.
That's the 4th Death Rattle.
That's going to be one big N'Zoth if he wants it.
Xixo's really going to want to shuffle first. No, he's just going to play the N'Zoth.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff, but I feel like he made this decision last turn.
Okay.
When he was telling me that time last turn, he's like, how much do I want for this N'Zoth?
Yeah, you're right.
And whatever the magic number is, he's got it.
Well, this makes the game really interesting because Xixo always wins in fatigue. He's got the extra Dire Horn hatchling shuffles.
But SeolDaBi has twice now in a row picked up Jades. If it wasn't for that, I think he'd be out of this.
How many Jades can he even have left?
There'll be probably 2 more. It's just a number I've got in my head that it goes to 9 when you lose your idol. It might be 1 more. Oh no,
He played one
idol.
idol.
More, it's Aya. It's 2 more, but it's Aya, which is both of them.
Did he?
It'll just be Aya.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think you top out at 9/9s, so just Aya to go most likely. Xixo's job is nearly done, but his health total is going a bit low. No Armor Smith in hand. How can he set up something good here?
He could Brawl, but that just feels like you've wasted N'Zoth there.
Looking at combinations of Slam and Sleep with the Fishers. Sleep with the Fishers does wipe out a lot of his own stuff, but he doesn't mind that too much. He'll draw a million cards first. There's an Armor Smith.
There's the dead man's hand.
And there's another Armor Smith. Hand suddenly got better.
Yeah, but now there's no N'Zoth. That dead man's hand is so much weaker.
He's going to get a lot of armor smiths, a lot of card draw though, over the next 2 or 3 turns. So SeolDaBi's got another minion he needs to hack through. Second ultimate infestation is basically useless.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can win with it to the face, just without fatiguing yourself.
I don't know how many cards that is. That's 4, 5, something around there.
That's 4, I didn't see the other one.
Okay. I know you're usually a pretty good judge of that.
It's only 6 or less, so you can't tell between 1 and 6.
Okay.
Well, between 2 and 6, it's the same graphic. So it's definitely 6 or less, but Xixo's is 4, I saw it on the pop-up.
Is SeolDaBi? What? What is
I think he's
happening?
bluffing something, but I don't know what.
Okay.
He's bluffing that he has... I don't even know at this
Mark
point.
of your charade?
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
confused.
But if it confuses Xixo, Xixo's been roping, and maybe it does a job, who knows? Xixo's the sort to try and work that out.
Yeah, look at him think. Like,
Yeah,
you
this
can
is
see
clever
him
from
thinking.
SeolDaBi. Like,
What is that card? What is
Yeah.
that card?
yeah, it's actually really clever. It's such a stupid looking bluff that it's actually going to waste up time that Xixo needs to make a good play.
I genuinely thought SeolDaBi was trying to concede there. That was really confusing.
Right. That's what you were looking for. And I feel that Xixo's going to want to get these armor smiths down soon,
Yeah,
but
I think you just shove an armor smith behind it. That's fine. It's quite hard for SeolDaBi to get through both.
yeah. And Xixo is starting to set it up. SeolDaBi down to Aya and some bits and pieces now.
Yeah, oh, there she is. She is going to cause some
Pandemonium.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry. So Xixo's still on an okay health total, but has that brawl protector, but not much else to go on. Aya is indeed going to make a mess of things.
Starting with the hero power, interesting. I was almost wondering if he'd play Nourish and then Aya, but I guess the problem is he's so low on cards, doesn't really want to draw them anymore.
Doesn't want to draw them, doesn't want to get brawled too badly either. And doesn't really want to be giving all this armor up, but what can you do?
So
Xixo's hardly, well, he's blinked because he blinks a lot, but he's hardly looked away from the monitor this entire turn. A lot of the time he sort of spends just gazing, but he has been thinking hard over this turn.
SeolDaBi opting not to use his hero power to clear the minion there. Actually uses the fan drill instead.
Yeah, that to me says he's hoping to use the ultimate infestation for lethal.
Okay.
He's trying to keep on a high enough health total that the fatigue won't kill him.
Yep. Garrosh with the whirlwind clears the 7-1, but that's it. Garrosh, smack the middle minion, trade Armor Smith into the 9-9, execute it, kind of works.
Yeah,
he takes so much damage though, I don't think he can survive that. No, it doesn't work, it takes 16.
Yeah, this is really painful looking. He hasn't got the time to play it. You're normally trying to generate time to get it down, and he hasn't quite got that time. He's going to need alternative options. And he still doesn't know what that card is that was bluffed by SeolDaBi a minute ago. Hopefully for him, he's forgotten to worry about that. All right, you've got to do something, Xixo. You don't say that very often. But he is not happy with this at all.
Execute and then brawl, okay. Execute, brawl. Is he gonna have a wave? He wants the 7-1 to survive.
And he wasn't sure what to do about playing the second armor smith there either. He could have played it first, gained an extra armor, had more chance of winning the brawl.
So Xixo only has 1 card left in his deck.
He does.
So Dead Man's Hand. Oh god. SeolDaBi still swinging that ultimate infestation around, bluffing it all over the place.
Yeah, well now it's close to lethal. Now that is a card that he can he's thinking about, how do I get this to face?
We're 5 off, right?
5 off, if he uses it now, yeah. He's saving that Spellbreaker for get the 8-8 through next turn. And Xixo has got some serious business to do here.
Okay. Can you explain that one?
Yes, N'Zoth's last mate.
Right.
So, what do you want, Xixo?
I think he wants time, and I think he needs to shuffle everything. I think we have to shuffle and just armor up and play the taunt.
Yeah. I guess if he's going to play Garrosh, you never want the N'Zoth's first mate.
Yeah, okay. Okay, same thing. I like this.
But yeah, this is the same thing like you say.
Whoa. That looked like... Oh, okay, that's fine.
Fine-ish. Well, Xixo's got a very good shuffle there. The whole game led to that moment. Obviously, that's kind of how the present tense works. But...
Whoa! Galactic Crawler picked up to deal with the N'Zoth's first
oh
mate.
my goodness.
Never seen anything like this before.
Yeah. I think Xixo did have to play it though, but that's actually insane.
Garrosh deals with it though.
It does, and Garrosh has 5 more armor twice. It's going to be so close. Can he afford to play the Garrosh? Maybe not for a turn or two. Does he have to play it?
I think you armor up, you play it, and you swing. Yep. You kill the crab. That also kills the Spellbreaker.
You have a minion on the board.
You don't quite die to Ultimate Infestation.
Your opponent's nearly out of stuff. If he wins this, he's got out of a bit of a mess. I think he made some mistakes in the middle there, personally. I think there were chances for him to tidy up boards he didn't tidy up.
It's very difficult to judge whether the N'Zoth was played at the right time as well. Like, if there was still a N'Zoth to be played now, that would fix everything.
So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is how many? 8, 16, 21, is that right? No, that's not how numbers work. 20, 5 4s. So that's a lot. The Ultimate Infestation is now useless for winning the game. But it could be a draw. We could see all this again.
Well, you know, Dead Man's Hand is a card that can create draws.
This could be a weird way to do it, though. I actually think this may well end up as a draw, because other than the one Garrosh in his deck, Xixo has no way of generating armor, but he's dead to hero power infestation.
Okay, did he not shuffle another Armor Smith in? No, I don't think he did.
Both.
No, you're right, yeah.
Just double checking my fatigue. So 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 is not 26.
Xixo's gonna have to execute one of these. Oh, that is a really good draw. So he can hero power, execute the 3-3, trade into the 2-2, and play the taunt. It means
he can't trade into the 2. Oh, with a minion, sorry.
No,
yeah.
trade the minion into the 2-2. The taunt then means that the hero powers can no longer hit the face, and Ultimate Infestation is the only damage SeolDaBi has left. That 5 damage is not enough. I think that taunt may have just won Xixo the game.
As long as he doesn't take a point of fatigue damage, but he gets 5 from Garrosh, so he should be okay. And he's going to do it by 1 health, and he knows it, and he looks like a very, very relieved man indeed.
Cutting this game so close to the wire, winning it literally by the skin of his teeth.
SeolDaBi not waving that infestation around anymore. And he looks devastated. Like, you've got to realise, SeolDaBi, Xixo knew what your win condition was. This isn't a fluke that he's on 6. Okay, he may have ended up losing by messing it up, but it's not an accident that he's in this spot.
There's the second Garrosh. That's a lot of armor. Suddenly it doesn't feel so bad to hit the weapon into one of these. Hero power to clear them up. Play the second Garrosh.
Yeah, you've got to get through. Otherwise you don't win yourself, so yeah. And you've got to stay above 5, because otherwise you die. And Xixo will have a good idea what he's up against exactly card for card. Deck lists are not revealed, but they are staple cards that he hasn't seen.
This game has been as long as the last series.
It has. Xixo, that notorious slow player.
But we won't be seeing this Dead Man's Hand Warrior again this series. And SeolDaBi goes out in style.
Yep, teaching Trump how to add up in fatigue and showing how the numbers work. Finishing on -16 or something.
You went there. Congratulations to Xixo taking the first game of the series.
1-0. Remember, this is Korea versus the rest of the world. It's basically only for the first round that is the case.
It's a fun tagline for the tournament, though.
Yeah, I mean, basically they've seeded the draw, so it's Korea versus the rest of the world in each of the quarterfinals, but it is a straight knockout at that point. I thought I was being waved at them, but they're waving the cameras, not us.
Right. We can wave. We can see us in the corner down here. Just
If you see us in the crowd, give us a wave back. We know you're listening to the other broadcast, so we can say what we like.
I don't think anyone waved back.
No, I don't either. Even with my eyesight, I think I'd see somebody waving.
Anyways, Xixo now has Paladin and Mage left to play.
And they're going to be control, right?
Do you think? Do you think it's going to be a solid control lineup?
When Xixo does something weird, he does it weird properly. I want to see combo Paladin and freeze Mage.
What, Uther, Auctioneer, Beardo, combo Paladin?
Why not? If you're going to do it properly.
Oh, you let me down,
Damn it, Xixo. Murloc Paladin for those uninitiated in the Korean language and English pictures at home. And for SeolDaBi, back to the Jade Druid, which is not really very well off in this matchup either.
No. Spreading Plague can deal some serious damage against a very specific board, but unfortunately, Gentle Megasaur can usually make the Murlocs topple the Beetles with very little difficulty.
One of the things I've always enjoyed watching about Xixo, as people know, I was a Xixo fanboy for the longest time, is how he puts lineups together. I think he's still the best in the world at putting together a lineup.
Okay.
Whenever you watch him play, you feel like you say the words, "This is a favoured matchup," relentlessly. Like we just watched Hoy, who might be the best player in the world. He's in that conversation.
Yep.
Lose because his zoo was kind of rubbish against the guy he played against.
Yep.
Xixo just never seems to be in that spot, ever.
That's true. And I suppose this is one of those tournaments where they may not have been helping each other as much as they usually do.
Right.
Given that they make, you know, like a quarter of the player base between them.
Yeah, and they're in the same half of the draw as well.
Yeah.
So really, not much you can do when your second round opponent is the guy you're practicing with.
Yeah.
So if you go to a Swiss event and there's 70 people, sure you might play each other, but then you just take the coin flip. But yeah, when there's 8 of you and you're the same half of the draw, and one of them is a rookie, yeah, you don't want to help each other.
1+1+1 or +3 health, both look good to me here.
Yeah, and the demise of Murloc Warleader was definitely reported a little bit too soon, to paraphrase certain other people. Right, these are the key turns. Can SeolDaBi actually get a decent spreading plague to stick?
It doesn't seem to matter. 2 swipes. 2 swipes actually deals with most of this. The second swipe will deal with everything except the dragon.
Ow, and you're gonna have to.
Yeah. Or do you swipe Hero Power on the 5/5 and leave the 8/3 on the board? Ugh.
Yeah, no. You have to swipe, I think. You don't like it because you've got no way of dealing with Scalebane. So can you take a turn to Spreading Plague? Take a turn to Aya.
Sure, okay. It's gutsy. I'll give him that.
It's playing to win. He also, Xixo may be able to work out, hang on. He either has no answer, in which case I'm good, or he has swipe. And I think the answer to both is the same.
Xixo is 3 off lethal right now. We should point that out. With a true silver or with the Blessing of Kings?
Is key this is a 4-4, which means that if Xixo takes the easy trade with the Scalebane, things go badly wrong to swipe. He will know this, obviously. The question is, what do you Spike Ridge here?
Spike Ridge Steeds looks very solid to
On
me.
what?
Okay. I was going to say it doesn't really matter. Like, he's so close to lethal. Whichever way he does it, he gets there very soon anyway. But that was a very safe way of playing it. I like this a lot.
Yeah, this is absolutely insane. And now he has lethal next turn, but he doesn't because Spreading Plague is going to do that thing that it does.
It's a horrible Spreading Plague, though. Almost all of Xixo's minions have 5 attack or more.
What does SeolDaBi do here?
You Spreading Plague, you then trade Aya in. No, that's still not good because you're only creating 3 Beetles.
Beetles.
You're only casting the spell 3 times, that's what I said. That's
I
what
thought they're Beetles.
Scarabs.
Beetles is funny. I never really thought of it that way before. They are just giant beetles, aren't they?
Okay, well now Spike Ridge Steed looks good, right?
You've got enough buffs. You've got to start working your way through these buffs. Yeah, it looks like you need to get on with this.
You just hit the Murloc and you smash the taunts up.
Next turn's probably the weapon of the other buff. Yeah, just get through this lot and see where you are.
The ground vibrating. There is a lot of bass in this room.
There is plenty of bass in this room.
Every smack of these bigger Hearthstone cards, we are actually feeling the impact.
It's actually, yeah, it's just like being stuck in the game board. Well, the board is gone.
Well, that's pretty annoying for Xixo.
It is, but you just reload with Curator and do it all again. And
do you ever play Rockpool Hunter and Steed?
it's interesting, it's on curve.
He's considering it. That's the only reason this turn wasn't instant.
Yeah, I think maybe you do it because it's on curve. I mean, do you ever do this? Rockpool Hunter, Murloc and True Silver and just grab a pathetic little board, but a board nonetheless. You've got 2 buffs in your hand. I like this so much. And he didn't go face, he did do the trade. He still sets up lethal, but now he's got so many ways through. And the key thing here is no matter what SeolDaBi does, Xixo can have a big board going into the Ultimate Infestation turn, which means SeolDaBi won't be able to infestate. If that's how you cast it.
I like it. Ultimate Infestate. Okay, Murloc Warleader with the Spike Ridge Steed actually does make this token big enough to kill the Jade Behemoth. That weapon has to go face, surely.
I think you wait.
Holding on to it, yeah.
Like, what's the difference in a way between 4 and 8 at this point? I think is what he's thinking.
True.
You either get a chunk in or you never do, so save it to get through these taunts.
This is going to be one-off lethal. Next turn, you buff up the Staggadon. You hit face with the True Silver and the Murloc. It's still not quite there. So I guess... Oh, this is horrible. Because you can't play the Blessing of Kings and the buff and the Curator.
And just going back to the previous couple of turns, this is where you've saved that weapon charge for this moment. Because now a 2/6 and a weapon into the 3/6 is at least a nice start to your turn, even though the rest of your turn looks bad.
SeolDaBi is out of taunts, though. For the time being.
Yeah, he's out of stuff as well. Like, Xixo's worried that's a no-ish or an infestation. But it's not, it's a crab. Which isn't much use right now.
A second Spreading Plague would be irritating as well.
It would. But they've got to deal with all of this, otherwise that Blessing of Kings is going to get it done. Anything good?
Okay.
Gonna need to chain a few results here.
Oh, it's a second Galactic Crawler.
And this is why tech cards can be bad for you.
Xixo going to take game number 2 in a much quicker fashion than the last one.
Much quicker fashion. And he will be down to just his mage. And who knows what that's going to be at this point.
I have no idea. Some of the players...
He's banned priest, so I don't think it'll be quest mage.
Some of the players were talking about Jaina mage in the backstage area.
Okay.
I don't remember which ones specifically were talking about the deck. Well, they're actually, I think it was Pavel referring to it as Geist mage.
Yeah, right.
Because Jaina's not the powerful card in that deck. Skulking Geist is the powerful card in that deck.
Yeah, that's the most likely. I think nothing else really works for me here. With the priest being banned, I'm pretty sure, as we look at this stupid arena again, look at this number of people at the top there.
Yeah, I know.
That is 4 different sections of people playing 4 different games. You see the games above them and they're divided into sections.
I really want to know what they're playing, like, what those games actually are.
Yeah, I saw the names and they weren't games I was familiar with, but you know, I'm old and stuff, so that's my excuse.
So much going on here. And there's stuff like in the distance that we haven't even had a chance to see yet.
So that bit you see at the top right-hand corner there is the extreme left-hand side of the arena, and the whole of the rest of the arena is just, I can't even explain how big it is. It's just ridiculous.
I think that music cue means that game number 3 is about to, if I'm learning, game number 3 starts right now. Yeah, this looks like Jaina mage to me, or Geist mage.
Right, so how are we going to play game number 4?
Huh?
How are we going to play game number 4? Because game number 3 is nearly over. We've got Kellerseth, we've got Captain.
Right.
It's gone nuts. Oh, will he play the Swashbuckler? I don't think he should.
Well, the argument is that you hold on to it, you play Kellerseth on turn 2, and then you get the 2/2 patches after. He's actually going to go with it now.
Trying to buff both with the Captain on turn 3 is the theory behind this.
Yeah, I'd rather summon a 3/3 patches with the Captain.
Me too. And then have the other one left to trigger my SI7 agent. But he's gone for this route. And Xixo emoted, which is well done, I think, on having a Kellerseth. I wonder what he'll think when he sees his Captain come down, because he's not dealing with the 1/1s with a ping, because he knows there shouldn't be a Captain here.
Because
I want to watch his face here, see what happens when Captain gets played. I think there might be a bit of an eye roll. No, nothing.
No
okay,
reaction
fair
whatsoever,
enough.
okay. And everything just pushing face to Xixo. His win condition is survive. Survive until Jaina, then get your way back into the game. After Jaina gets played, he could just heal back to 30 pretty quick.
Yeah, he's got a handful of freeze and removal. He actually might start to stabilize here. But he's going to have to, because SeolDaBi is putting on the pressure. This should be a good matchup for Xixo, to be fair.
Yep.
When you stabilize against Rogue, it just has no way of defending itself, and you kill them at your leisure.
Polymorphing a 3/3.
Yeah, just doing everything he can to get to that Meteor, to get to Flame Strike.
So I guess the ideal draw here is just Doomsayer. He wants to be able to blow up this board with the Doomsayer Frost Nova.
Yeah, seems good.
I think it's the only way he gets out of this in one piece.
Yeah, the 6/6 is going to be hard to deal with.
So now he's going to have to play Frost Nova and hope for a Blizzard.
Yeah.
Okay, this works too. Heals for 8, takes 10.
You just have another chance at that Doomsayer.
Yep. And even if that doesn't work, he can Frost Nova into Flame Strike. That secret is taking some. There we go.
That took a while.
Didn't want to proc.
And Xixo, he can stall for a while, but none of that stalling was necessarily that great.
Yeah, he's okay for the time being.
Yeah, your definitive okay definition is a little bit different to mine.
But he's not okay up to turn 9, which is where he needs to be.
Yeah, and beyond, because he needs to be stable when he plays that Jaina. I mean, he's dead on board next turn. He can freeze. He's then super dead on board, and he can flame strike. But I don't think the flame strike gets rid of enough stuff. And the game is really lagging, I'm afraid, as well. All right, ice block. Let's go, go, go.
Okay, so do you have to play the ice block now, or do you draw some cards?
Yeah, you play it now because you need to get that valet online as well.
Yep.
I don't know if you do it yet, but that valet needs to be online. If you get a freeze next turn, then meteor and valet on the turn after is actually really good.
Yeah, or even freeze plus valet this turn and then flame strike next turn to clear everything up, hopefully.
I think SeolDaBi probably plays a swashbuckler here to see where he is.
Actually gonna play this Bone Mare, okay. It makes it harder for Xixo to clear the board, but at least Xixo knows what he's up against now.
Positioning good as well. Stuff all over the place to deal with this meteor.
Oh! 9-8 Frostcaller, there's
the blizzard.
That's a huge draw. It means that next turn Flame Strike clears everything except the Frostcaller.
Yeah, that might still...
Meteor Ping actually clears all but one as well.
But yeah, Xixo just getting into this. Kabbalist Tome. This is going to be ridiculous for Rogue. The class that needs a refill more than any. Gets his own ice block, vaporized cone of cold. Getting his own ice block, this is going to lead to some interesting stuff later on.
SeolDaBi is going to survive for quite some time, but that doesn't matter. The ice block doesn't help him. If Xixo gets Jaina down and heals up to 30, he just wins the game.
Yeah, for sure. All right, how does he do this now?
So you can Flame Strike, and then only the 12-6 survives, which means the ice block gets popped at 10, which is pretty good for Xixo, actually.
Has he got anything better?
It's
hard to find anything better than that. Getting procced is bad, but getting procced at 11 or 10 maybe is not too terrible when you can deal with the stuff the turn after.
It's not bad at all. Because then Xixo, he just meteors the turn after. He doesn't get the valet the turn after.
Remember, he'll feel that SeolDaBi probably has some burn in hand from that Kabbalist Tome. We know that he whiffed completely in terms of burn.
Well, this is interesting, because now if SeolDaBi even has one burn damage, the block gets popped. If he doesn't have burn damage, then the ice block does not get popped.
But it will, because of
the Bone Mare Shadow Step is crazy. Xixo is going to regret not flame striking there.
Yeah, this works out really badly for him. Obviously, Rogue having the dagger is important against the block. A lot of classes can't do damage when their minions are frozen, but that extra one from the Rogue, the pings, the ping classes are so important.
Oh, that Shadow Step draw was just so big a deal for Xixo.
Not being procced at 1, though. Does give him a little bit of option here. SeolDaBi's positioning on point, and that freeze is on point as well, the 2-2.
Yeah.
Looks like he's got this tidied.
I think we have to glyph and hope.
Glyph and hope for the rest of the world.
A board freeze, Blizzard. Is Frostbolt with the Flame Strike good enough? No, I don't think it is.
Well, Blizzard allows you to intellect as well.
Yeah. And again, this is where not being popped at 1 has a huge impact.
Yeah, maybe it makes a difference, maybe.
These Doomsayers, better late than never, but...
Maybe not. Maybe it's just they're late.
Just pretty late.
Where have you been? Told you not to be late.
Now Xixo has to play around Counterspell and Spellbender.
Yeah, it's no fun at all for
Mirror
Xixo right
Entity,
now.
Frozen Clone. All of these awkward secrets that could be.
Remember, SeolDaBi is officially a rookie, so all these positioning non-mistakes have been very useful, and Xixo does go down to 2 games to 1.
Official rookie.
Literally just says rookie, that's the only word. And I couldn't find him. He's come through a lot. He went 5 rounds of prelims, followed by a big group stage, which we don't quite understand, where he played 7 matches and won 5 of them. We know that much. And it wasn't round robin because some of them he played twice and some of them he played once.
But as you say, the only word on the notes that we've been given about SeolDaBi, the only word is rookie. And that if he beats Xixo, maybe we can scratch that off.
His last 3 wins were all 3-0. And I think that might have been the round of 16 stage. Anyway, he still has to find wins with his Druid, with his Paladin. Xixo with his Jaina Mage so far.
SeolDaBi has started the ball rolling. He just needs to keep that up. He's thrown Xixo off his stride. Just needs to keep going as we jump in to game number 4.
Yep, game number 4, and it's going to be probably the Druid. Actually, probably not. It is, and it's going to be all about, has Xixo got Geist in this deck or not? We didn't see it then, he went a long way through the deck, so far looking like he does not.
Was that Xixo and the Geist? Would you
Yeah.
say? We saw it in the Mulligan.
Oh, we did see it in the Mulligan?
We did see it in the Mulligan. Yeah.
Okay, so it is the Geist Mage. I was doing something else, waving at the crowd or something at the time, so yeah, I did not see that.
Yeah, I distinctly remember seeing it in the Mulligan. It was like almost as I was saying that Pavel referred to it as Geist Mage. So yeah, it's going to be another one of those games where can he draw it in time to put a stop to these Jade Idols?
A little bit of a better start this time, but not much better. No card draw, not much minion to speak of. But obviously the Druid usually goes a bit slower. It's busy ramping and not flattening minions, but double Jade Blossom early has something to say about that.
Right, well there's that Frost Nova again from the Glyph or the Flame Strike. Gonna go with Flame Strike. Does deal a chunky amount of damage to those Jade Golems later on in the game, and only for 5 mana. It's a very strange list that we've seen from Xixo. All the Blizzards and the Flame Strikes and the Meteors.
Yeah, he just wants to kill stuff.
Yeah.
We're in a very tempo-orientated meta at the moment, so killing stuff is really good right now.
I mean, it's almost like Freeze Mage, with the Doomsayers and the Frost Novas as well. It's like as close to Freeze Mage as I think I've seen Jaina Mage.
And he's banning Priests, so he is going to run into those decks that stick minions everywhere over and over again. So you might have loads of ways to kill them. And like you say, playing it like Freeze Mage, just gather the pieces together that you need. In Freeze Mage, it's a bit more combo orientated. With this, it's basically just survive.
So Xixo actually feeling the pressure from that Fandral already, gonna polymorph that. He has been very liberal with his polymorphs in this deck. Last game, polymorphing a 3-3. This game, polymorphing Fandral, but I guess in order to prevent that Nourish, it was worth it.
Yeah, he's got that infestation coming soon near you. Remember, the deck lists are not open, so SeolDaBi's gonna have to work out. He's looking at the 7s now. Do I think this is a counter spell ever? He's already seen the barrier, so the chances are there are no counter spells.
It's very unlikely.
And he has 2 infestations, so not only is it very unlikely, but even if that unlikely comes up, you're probably good to just go again the next turn.
SeolDaBi feels like he knows enough about this deck list to not feel the need to save the silence. Did he actually see one of the Doomsayers last game? I don't think he did.
No, he did not.
They were both drawn at the last minute by Xixo, just a little bit before he lost.
Well, look at it the other way. Maybe he doesn't feel that. Maybe he feels, look, I'm in so much trouble. I've given Xixo so much time. I have to put a minion on the board now. No matter what I think might happen to them, I've got no other way to develop a board.
Well, he wants to play as many Jade Idols as possible first, because SeolDaBi will be expecting Skulking Geist in this deck.
Yeah.
As I said, the European pro players backstage, they were referring to it as Geist Mage,
right,
not as Jaina Mage.
Yeah, it's basically Freeze Mage with a Jaina and a Geist thrown in for good measure. It's like the old Medivh Mages, which was very similar as well. The definition of what you want to call it, people will be definitely complaining about our definitions, but really you can call them what you like. I'm fine with Geist Mage.
Is this a Doomsayer turn?
So is it a Flame Strike turn? At some point it becomes useless quite quickly.
You're right, and Doomsayer doesn't become as useless, especially now we've seen a Silence used up.
But yeah, you're right, Doomsayer does slow it down a little bit for your opponent, and that becomes useless later as well.
Do you know what? No, you've won me over. I like Flame Strike Ping now more. Because Doomsayer plus Blizzard or Frost Nova later on is almost a guaranteed board clear. Against anything.
Flame Strike just looks awful, but...
I mean, every play here looks bad.
Yeah, your Doomsayer never survives. So, what other plays are there? Play a barrier and pass, that's a play. Barrier, ping sheep, how about that?
Okay, that's a good idea. Yeah, I can get behind that. So can Xixo by the looks of it. Oh, no, he's going to set up for the Flame Strike, okay.
Yeah, this is a dead giveaway, but there's not much SeolDaBi can do to play around it.
One thing to consider here, though, is that SeolDaBi will be expecting the Flame Strike to cost 7, not 5.
Yeah.
Obviously, he knows a Glyph has been played, but he also knows Xixo runs Flame Strikes in the deck naturally. So
Yoppling back in.
So Flame Strike plus Frostbolt will actually be a surprising board clear.
And he's going to get no value at all out of that idol. Was trying to pull multiple idols on the same turn from the draw. And Xixo's ping last turn is going to prove to be absolutely fantastic, as it's now going to let him clear this turn.
Well, no, not anymore.
Except.
That's just turned it upside down.
It really has. SeolDaBi's positioning again correct.
Where's Blizzard? Where's Frost Nova? Why is Xixo failing to draw this combination of cards?
Xixo's first question this turn is, how much time do I have? Just for instance, he can meteor the Geist, he can ping the 4/4, just take 8 straight to the mush. But he's decided he's got even more time than that. And he's again going to set up for Flame Strike, which he feels he can just take chunks of damage. And, you know, this deck you can get the damage back quickly, so why not?
Well, Xixo can play Jaina any time onwards after next turn. Obviously, the board doesn't really allow him to yet, but Jaina is one of the few Death Knight hero cards that you want to play as early as possible, because it's literally just a buff on the hero power. There are others where you kind of lose the original hero power and get it replaced, but this one is just a buff.
Xixo has got a clear any way he wants it here.
There's finally the Blizzard Doomsayer.
But do you want it yet? Do you Frostbolt Blizzard and just wait one more turn? Yeah, you can Blizzard Doomsayer. See how he chooses to do this. And how he chooses to win the game. Like, running the Druid out of threat seems to be the way here. But at some time he wants to get his Jaina to stick, just so he can start getting out of range. And he is going to go for this Doomsayer, preserving that Flame Strike again. And even though the Doomsayer is going to eat a load of damage, that's all it's going to do.
Yeah, remember that Flame Strike that Xixo's been holding onto now for turns?
Right.
Setting up for every single turn? Looks pretty good to me now.
Whoa! SeolDaBi just dropped the Jade onto the board with no space to make the 6/6 that he really needs. And that's going to filter through the rest of the game.
Ouch. Well, it still buffs them. It does still buff them.
Really?
Yeah.
I learned something today.
I'm pretty certain it does. I'll be wrong if the next one's a 6/6. But I'm pretty sure it's still... Oh, let's see.
You're right, yeah. I did not know that. Today I learned.
I only know it because of the old Bran synergy. Like, Bran, if you couldn't summon 2, then you'd still get 2 buffs.
Sure.
But Xixo's getting a bit low on health. That Doomsayer is doing a vital job, though. It gives him the time to play Jaina.
Yeah, getting that Jaina down is going to buy him time to get more cards to
He
go with
needs
his
to draw
Alex.
Geist. He needs to draw Geist now.
What about just Alex Strazing himself? He's not going to win by Alex Strazing opponent and burn. That's not happening anyway. Put an 8-8 on the board. This is just to advert too, like, fancy. Get Jaina over with. And like you say, if he doesn't get the Geist, he's going to lose.
Kind of a shame for Xixo that Geist doesn't destroy Jade Idols that are already on the board.
Yeah.
Okay, that helps, kind of.
Yeah, it's going to get him another 3-6, help him gain some more health. But he's got so many cards in his deck still. Finding that Geist is going to be so tedious.
Frostbolt the 8-8. Freeze the 3-6, yeah, okay.
Now he's out of options though.
He used one polymorph already on the Fandral. I did not expect this series to go all the way to game 5.
No, but no Geist drawn has put Xixo in a world of hurt here. And this is why I think Geist options in decks have to be taken very carefully.
Yep.
You see people trying to Geist in their own priest deck, which hurts them against Druid. Honestly, if you're going to beat Druid, you're going to beat it, and if you're not, the Geist hardly helps. But in this mage deck, you do have to have it.
Okay, well, that buys him a turn.
Yeah, at least one. Probably
Great.
exactly one. Yeah.
I just don't. I can't think of a comeback mechanic for Xixo right
The
unless
damage
he
has
runs
been done.
Deathwing randomly. There is nothing. Or Yogg.
Yeah, or Yogg. Or a card that says, remove all your opponent's armor. We don't have one of those yet.
I did see Yogg-Saron played in a tournament recently.
Yeah, there was some at DreamHack, more than one. Still a card that people play in Druid and in Mage. Probably only those two cards, just because they're spell heavy that go long.
Yep.
But I don't see how Xixo generates enough stuff here.
Does he still have a Blizzard left in the deck? I think he does.
Yeah.
He played the one with the Doomsayer earlier, but I think that's the only one he played.
But that just stops him dying. It doesn't get him anywhere.
SeolDaBi actually going with Poisonous there.
Yeah, so I drifted off. Didn't realise the game was still going on. Yeah. All right, Xixo finds the Arcane Intellect. What's he even looking for? He'll know it when he sees it.
I'm not seeing it. Is Xixo seeing it?
No, he knows there's nothing, I think, at this point. All right, so if you're going to win this game, first of all, you've got to get the Geist. Your opponent only has 1 or 2 cards left. Then you've got to kill the board that's out there. And then what else? Finding a way to win isn't hard. Finding a way not to lose for all this time and finding your Geist is the hard bit.
He gets popped at 1 as well. I wonder if he trades the Elementals into the big J Golem. It was like the 11-11 and the 8-8. Okay.
All right.
Oh, of course, the healing mate. Okay. So the block doesn't get popped just yet. Oh, another 1-mana spell that Geist could have dealt with already. That's going to make Xixo's life a hell of a lot harder.
Right. But he is out. So no Geist needed anymore. This board has to get it done. I think it's going to. So, SeolDaBi decided, yeah, I might as well go as wide as I can. What use a 2-3 second wave? If I get in that position, I've somehow lost it. Yeah.
Well, this looks like Xixo's last turn to me. He
does.
probably runs a second ice block. So he might draw that, but there's just no winning from here.
And only gets one card as well from the Acolyte. Well, he gets at least one more turn.
Yeah, it is. Freeze the board, freeze the face with the Water Elemental, gain 3 more health.
So all he needs is fatigue to chew through the armor. There's another block. Then Alex draws the face as soon as that's happened.
Okay, hold on a second. What's going on right now? Are we actually seeing the tiniest glimmer of hope for Xixo? Is that happening?
I tell you what we are going to see, whatever happens, is SeolDaBi get a bit sweaty. This is where you start thinking, oh my god, surely no.
It's funny that he's not even seen the Geist yet.
Yeah.
Yet his deck is empty. Obviously, he didn't shuffle the Jade Exchange.
Right, exactly.
Oh, there it is. It's not helpful right now.
No, get rid of all his own mirror images. I don't think he's got mirror images.
I don't think he's running mirror images either.
But you know, just in case, you never know.
I doubt that Xixo has any freezes left either.
Yeah, I don't think he's got much left at all. He might have one meteor.
He must have a glyph.
Glyph for glyph.
Frost Nova.
You can't glyph for Yogg, that's a shame.
Nah, Frost Nova from glyph would still do it because of the extra health you get from the Water Rally.
Yeah, I'm worried about the 26 turns after. So Derby's like
He's so stressed.
In stress mode. It's like because he can't see what's going on. And again, this is his first major tournament. He's come through a lot of qualifiers to get here. And this one round is so much money difference. Like, you win this round, you're in a fairly good spot for the rest of the tournament, whatever. Lose this round, you get $1,000 roughly, and off you go. And here's 1, 5, 6, 7, 10 rounds to get here.
Flame Strike's not going to do it for Xixo. SeolDaBi thinks, finally, that game is over. 1 game remaining.
Winner plays Suni, the Korean winner of the first quarter-final. And so it could be an all-Korea semi-final if SeolDaBi wins this, which guarantees a Korean in the final. Just this one game can make all that difference to the tournament. If Xixo wins this game, though, the rest of the world are absolutely looking fine.
Korea versus the world indeed. At the moment, Korea are winning. Xixo might be changing that. It's going to be SeolDaBi's Paladin, which we haven't seen yet.
We have not.
But I'm going to assume that it's aggro, because that's what the rest of them have been. And I'm going to assume that if it is aggro, Xixo has a shot.
Yeah, I agree. SeolDaBi could just get that flying start, but he will need it. Just give you guys a wave back home. Hi, everybody. Yeah, that's us in the box, you can see. It's pretty spectacular. And there is the trophy. I always like trophies, but I like this one a lot. Might take this home with me.
I don't think we're allowed to.
Oh.
I don't think the trophy's for us.
Who's it for then? Put you on the spot.
Well, I don't know. Not Hoi.
Not Hoi is definitely a correct answer.
Just had to not get that wrong. Oh,
and
hang on a second.
That's a forbidden healing and equality.
That's not an aggro paladin. Plain and simple.
So SeolDaBi did not bring Paladin at all in any of the qualifying rounds. So who knows this matchup better.
Bit of a gamble.
What we do know though is he left it till last, and Xixo has no idea what it is, and he will assume it's Murloc Paladin, unless he knows something that we don't. And Xixo is really good at finding stuff out. He knows everybody.
Playing it last though, does that mean it's a deck he's not confident with?
No, it's a deck he wants to surprise you with.
Okay.
I don't think it matters in Conquest normally.
Sure.
But if you're going to come out with a surprise deck, have it in this situation where they've not seen it. Why not? For sake of an argument.
Yeah. It's going to be a long game either way to round off what has been a very long series.
Yep, Xixo occupying board there. It's his best play anyway. And now he gets the news that it's probably control, and next turn he'll get the news that it is.
I think it's very hard to call this one as well. I couldn't tell you who I think is favored. I think I might lean towards Xixo.
I think I'd lean towards the mage, depending whether there's a combo in there. Again, if SeolDaBi's playing a combo paladin, that could be a thing where suddenly the mage just can't deal with the the hero power.
It beats Ice Block, right? The Auctioneer Beardo combo just beats Ice Block.
You just win the game if he's got that in there.
If SeolDaBi is running the hero, then he starts putting out 2-2s instead of 1-1s.
Yeah.
That makes life a little bit harder for Jaina.
Yeah, but overall I do agree. I think that Jaina probably has the edge. She just has the better hero power in general, I feel. The ability to create infinite minions at a 3-6, not 2-2. Like, she can ping the other ones over 2 turns, get 3-6s. And I don't see anyone killing anyone anytime soon.
No, it's going to be a very slow start. Those Galactic Crawlers not going to do all that much for SeolDaBi in this matchup, or for Xixo, actually.
Yeah, just trading early blows, not going to matter. So, Xixo's going to be in a position where he wins with Jaina.
Yep.
SeolDaBi, I can't see his win condition. And I say this a lot, whenever we have control paladins turn up, the win condition against other control matchups seem to be you haven't got one.
Now, Admirable and Frodan in Trinity, the most recent Trinity which we watched this morning, was describing kind of control paladin deck as you put 7+ mana crystals, and you put in basically every paladin card except Tyrion. That was how they described it.
Sounds about right.
So I wonder if that's what we're seeing here.
Interesting that SeolDaBi, this is going to be his first hero power turn. So really rating getting those minions out there. Traditionally against other control decks, you try and make a minion every turn with your hero power, preserve resources that way.
Yep.
But he's decided to put the slightly bigger stuff down and get on with it that way.
Okay.
Just an observation rather than a comment, really.
That Acolyte is almost definitely going to draw two cards.
Yeah, you would think so.
I don't think Equality is going to be going off here.
No, but he probably wants to consider it, because there aren't many minions at all in Xixo's deck. So he will think about it for a moment and go, nah, why would I do that?
Who wins Fatigue?
And Jaina has health gain.
Jaina has health gain, but you get to the point where if Jaina can't kill anything, it's really complicated. Like, Jaina is a strange card, because I feel like if you're playing with her in a late game deck, you feel like you're guaranteed the win, and then your opponent stops playing things, and suddenly you don't have water elementals anymore and you lose. Like, almost randomly.
Xixo is asking himself that same question right now. And he's decided he doesn't mind being ahead on cards and behind in fatigue.
There are a lot of complexities in this deck. In both of these decks, actually.
Yeah. Just people throwing t-shirts and stuff into a baying crowd, taking my attention away from the Hearthstone for a minute. Crowd just chanting for more stuff. And they're getting more stuff as well.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're looking at now, yeah.
Plenty of stuffing about. Back in a minute, I'm just going to run and get some myself, I think. All right, back to the Hearthstone. I'm not allowed to get stuff.
Into Glyph. What's this? Is this a mana bind? Maybe you take Potion of Polymorph and try and hit
Tyrion. Yeah, I'm all for that.
It is turn 8 next turn, but that is very obvious.
It is, but it's going to hit something. This isn't a totally control deck either from the Paladin. There are minions with not many, but more than sometimes.
It has some mid-range elements to it.
I mean, it's still pretty slow, but yeah, it's just a little bit of stuff they can do. Basically, it's tech cards and minions. Let's go that way. Yeah, Xixo not interested in killing his opponent at all. Just pinging the Curator there.
Well, Getaway Kodo is the obvious best value pick in this type of matchup.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me.
No eye for an eye present. That can just be a sneaky pick against a mage. just to kill them through the ice block.
Yeah, have to make them, especially if they have to use their Alex Stras to kill you with.
Yeah.
You make them use it on their own face sometimes.
Yeah, it's not so good now because Jaina allows you to keep healing anyway.
Yeah, so there's many ways around it now. Now, if you're wondering whether we're just sort of talking gibberish, it's because this is going to go on a while.
Yeah, this game is pretty gibberish, at least for the next few turns.
Yeah, we are finally getting towards the 10 mana turn where they can actually start doing stuff.
I described Jaina as one of the few Death Knight heroes that is just a buff on the hero power. There's no negative element to playing Jaina. It's kind of, the same can be said for the Uther hero as well. Your hero power goes from being 1/1s to 2/2s. The only difference really is that you get the weapon.
Yeah,
And
most of the others you lose stuff.
And it might, yeah, right. Like Shaman, you don't get your tokens, your totems anymore. Rogue, you don't get your dagger, etc.
Sorry, I interrupted you about to say about the weapon.
I was going to say the only thing is about the weapon is that sometimes you want that later on. It's not strictly better to play it at the earliest possible moment, as it is Jaina. That being said, probably is still better to play it early. And Xixo is winning, at least when it comes to Death Knight heroes being played first.
Right, and playing it this early means that over the course of the game, he will get a number of elementals. 3 or 4, something like that. He can get one now if he wants to with the Flame Strike. And that number of elementals will add up and take a very slow but steady toll on the opponent. It won't be noticeable at first, but in a few turns' time, we'll probably be looking at this, and Xixo will have more cards than SeolDaBi. Something like that. You'll slowly notice this incremental advantage of the water elementals just grinding SeolDaBi down.
I don't know how impactful this is, but Xixo knows there's a secret in SeolDaBi's hand, so Skulking Geist will hit something.
Yeah. And that's what he's going to do. Just gets rid of the secret. But yeah, it's another bit of incremental advantage I'm talking about.
It's funny that Xixo does get to find out which secret it was as well. Like, that is a little bit of information.
I wish that at the end of the game that the secrets that were in your opponent has played turned over, so you knew if you played around the right stuff all game or not.
That's true.
Win or lose, they should just like reveal.
That could be pretty frustrating sometimes.
You've killed them, you should know their secrets.
Yeah.
I mean, they take their secrets with them when they die, but you know.
Yeah, but if they beat you, and you played around the wrong one and could have won.
Yeah, when it's ice block especially. I've lost when I've definitely played around the wrong thing before.
Yeah.
It's part of the fun of the game.
So that's face of Shambler on the left, Sunwalker, and that same Cthulhu buffer that appeared earlier on in the same game. Face of Shambler, 4 mana 4/7 seems pretty good here.
It does, a little bit of extra damage. And again, it's going to take a while before Xixo's able to start to show that he has got any advantage at all here. And so far he hasn't. So far he hasn't made a water elemental apart from the one you get when you play Jaina.
Yeah. Can he make any here? He can if he plays Flame Strike, Volcanic Potion, Ping. It clears the board and gets him a water.
He can Blizzard trade Ping as well into the 4/7.
Yeah, that's better. That is better.
Here we go, water elemental. Extra number 1. That's just a free card. It's big enough to count as a free card, whereas a 2/2 dude isn't really a free card. It's like half a card or something.
Right.
But a 3/6 life gain, well, yeah, sure, we'll have some of that.
So SeolDaBi is running Tyrion. Very heavy.
Yeah, the weapon's so handy as well with Tyrion. Not so much in this matchup. It's still a lot of damage.
I wonder if he's running Ragnaros Lightlord then.
Wow.
I mean, we don't even know for sure if he's running Uther, so...
2016 cool, they want their deck back.
Can he get the polymorph? Maybe.
Or do you take the Kabbalist Tome?
Well, this is what I mean. He can...
So much long-term value here.
You can maybe get the polymorph from the Tome. That's another chance. No.
No, but he gets another Arcane Intellect, so that might not be the greatest thing. He may not want to go too far ahead in fatigue.
Yeah, he was willing to draw 1 from that Acolyte earlier, but how many extra cards does he want to draw?
He's got these missiles next turn. They could be a big deal, actually.
Yeah. It's sort of, in this type of deck where you end up with a lot of cards that don't really do all that much, you can sometimes afford to spend 7 mana just on a Greater Arcane Missiles.
And he's not even taking off the Divine Shield. He's just going, you know what? I want more Water Elementals. I'm going to put your Drake to 4-1.
Yeah.
I don't care about your silly Tyrion.
Yeah. Oh, okay. There's Uther.
All right.
Again, something that may matter in this game.
Oh!
Okay. All right.
So if you're wondering why I'm owing and the Korean commentators are owing, Polymorph turns the thing into a 1-1. Ping gives you a Water Elemental, and Tyrion doesn't get the weapon. This is 4 mana of complete stupidity right now.
I will now finish the thought that I started before that
sorry, I didn't know you had
absurd
a
draw. Uther does unfreeze your hero when you play it. So we could end up in a situation where Xixo feels safe, he's frozen SeolDaBi's face, Uther comes down, the 5 attack weapon still goes in.
It's worth knowing for sure. Crazy interactions. Sometimes we've seen interactions cost people games before they've not known them. All right, so
SeolDaBi looked upset that that Skulking Geist didn't hit anything. Oh, I guess he was hoping the Kabbalah's Tome got a 1 mana card.
I guess.
Because Xixo had already played a Geist, so it would have had to have come from a Tome.
Yeah, that makes sense. Not many easy ways to generate a minion this turn. You like Volcanic Potion and do some shenanigans, but they don't look like fun. Flame Strike Ping does it, I guess. Yeah, that's all right, and then you trade in. Sure.
Yeah, I like that. I like the Flame Strike Ping.
There's not that many minions going to give you the chance. Let's Flame Strike Ping. Just keep making these dudes. And like I said, like 4 or 5 turns ago, the hand sizes have reversed. Now, obviously, Kabbalah's Tome helped, but Xixo's whittling SeolDaBi's hand down. SeolDaBi's having to keep playing stuff to keep in this game.
Oh. Oh.
That was the worst possible result.
Well, all 3 could have gone face.
That's true. But then you win the meme war, and
True.
you're fine.
True, that's probably a better result for Xixo, yeah. That's true.
All right, here comes Uther. Uther versus Jaina. They've both turned into Death Knight form now. And Xixo does have to make sure he gets rid of these 2/2s relentlessly, and that is resources he will now start using up.
He does have 2 Volcanic Potions. So in theory, he can wait for SeolDaBi to summon 3 and deal with all 3 of them at once, twice. Though that does get risky.
Yeah, you've got to be a bit careful just in case there's an Auction Master,
Yeah.
you know.
If there's a Beardo, then Xixo could randomly just lose. But
He knows there isn't a Beardo because he played Geist. If you're playing Beardo, you play some want stuff.
No, you play Bully, right? If you play Beardo,
go on then.
you play
Sure.
Bully for coins. The
Sure.
1 mana cards come from the Hydrologists.
I guess, yeah, that makes sense.
I don't think that's quite clear enough, but
Yeah, it's probably not proof.
but again, he hasn't seen a Bully yet, which is also a nod in the safety direction.
All right, so here's a board. Now, not a nice one for Xixo to clear. Again, it's easy enough, but it's all about those resources. It's all about whittling that hand size down. Xixo's getting dangerously close to fatigue now, and SeolDaBi is safe for a while. So Xixo needs to win the resource battle. He needs to put SeolDaBi out of stuff on board, and he needs to start getting some 3/6s, otherwise he's not going to win this game.
So okay. No secret drawn. Alright, well that turn was okay. Because he gets the Water Elemental as well, it sort of evens out the board.
How is he going to keep generating them, though?
Spike Ridge Steed going on one of these hero power tokens can also be pretty major. And yeah, it gets to the point where he's only going to be able to generate 1 Water Ellie every 2 turns by pinging those tokens twice.
Yeah, that's the decision SeolDaBi's making right now, but yeah. This looks like a good turn for this second volcanic potion, though. This just looks clear cut.
There is no reason to not play this card right now. It's so clean.
Very tidy indeed. Generates a 3/6, out of range of the weapon.
Xixo's deck is getting a little bit thin though.
Yeah, he is running out of time to do this.
So when we both said that Jaina probably wins the fatigue game, I think, well, maybe
6 cards versus 4 or 5 here.
we hadn't quite worked out how heavy.
He's only 1 card ahead. He's actually only 1 card ahead.
Okay, okay.
It looked like more a minute ago because one was on 6 and one was on 7. And 6 is where the pack size changes. But yeah, it's only 1 card. 1.5, kind of. And there's a second polymorph. That's a big deal. He doesn't have to use it yet.
No. I think you just ping the 2/2 and pass.
You ping the 2/2, your opponent makes another one. You ping the second one, he makes another one. And you hope they don't combo you. Sure, I like it.
I think that Xixo has enough information to believe there is no auction master beard.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
I don't. He can't be 100% sure.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it really is. It occupies the board and does get rid of something.
Probably play it safe and get rid of the other 2/2. Oh no, okay, he's not worried.
Interesting. So he's not worried at all. So he's quite a long way out behind in fatigue, but he does have a lot more health gain potential. And he can wipe out at least 2 lots of 2/2s, plus he is just starting to get a little board together. On the other side, SeolDaBi's filled his hand back up, which I didn't think he was going to get to do. Doesn't have a whole lot going on aggressively, though.
Such a weird matchup.
Yeah, the interaction of these 2 hero powers is like, the 2 pings feels like you get behind, but then the 3/6 gets you back in front because it kills the next one.
Yeah, unless SeolDaBi has a way of dealing with the 1/3/6.
The fact that Xixo saved this Flame Strike shows that's how he's thinking of doing that.
Yeah.
He's going to push it right to the limit on the 2/2s on one of these later turns. And it just carry on pinging the 2/2s in the meantime to... It's all about these water earlies, the extra value he's been getting.
This time SeolDaBi didn't get offered the getaway Kodo. Sorry, yeah, the getaway Kodo, which is the one he'd have wanted. Redemption's not that bad, but I'm gonna go with Noble Sacrifice.
Interesting.
Getaway Kodo's great because if you hit one of the tokens, then you just win the game a turn sooner later on.
So everything's cleared up there, but nothing's really scary here. And I'm looking at SeolDaBi's aggressive options for the rest of the game, and I don't see anything. It feels like solitaire for Xixo till the end of the game here.
Yeah?
Like, what haven't we seen? We've seen Big Me, we've seen Double Primordial, we've seen Tarim, we've seen Tyrion. We've just seen all the big stuff.
We've probably seen all of the big stuff.
Unless there's like an Azoth hiding in here just for a second Tyrion.
Oh, that.
Or a Ragnaros.
Okay. Well, that's somewhat aggressive. Might even heal up the 2/1 if he gets played. It's not going to
Doesn't get played, which means Xixo is going to be able to get one of his pings into play here.
Yeah, well, SeolDaBi wants to eat up the second polymorph. I think he's only seen 1 so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, that didn't come from anything random. I'm surprised that Xixo's running a fireball in this deck. I don't think that's common.
It's the sort of thing that in testing, maybe you beat Zoo with it occasionally or something, if they tap too deep.
Yeah,
Something like that. Maybe you beat Rogue with it a little bit more often,
sure.
Again, the extra 6.
Medea's Valet is helpful. Oh, okay, we're going to Flame Strike now.
He feels he's got enough to get the game done, so Flame Striking now. He does have that polymorph ping in his back pocket.
These guys have been playing such a long series.
It has been a long series, and it's showing on Xixo. Like,
it's something Xixo will have been anticipating, obviously. He's the guy that's run 2 out of 3 control decks. But
they don't have to play another game today. The semi-finals and finals will be tomorrow, so they can go all in mentally on this one match.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're playing Swiss, so you kill yourself in round 1. That's no good.
Yeah.
You have to play on like 90% power just so you don't actually seize up later today. We have seen players get to round 5 or 6 and just do the worst things imaginable because they're so tired.
Yeah.
But no, these guys can just go for this. And Xixo continuing the plan that he's been doing for 15 turns now or more of just trying to make water elementals, making sure he gets the value. And it seems to be working for him.
Does SeolDaBi even play anything here? He would love to see Xixo use up this polymorph before he plays Ragnaros Lightlord. Maybe he drops Tar Creeper and hopes that that's where the polymorph goes?
He needs to do, yeah. He can't threaten Xixo without his hero power. And the hero power is helping Xixo.
So complicated.
The one thing that isn't there anymore is that flame strike. That is important. The alternative win condition will put pressure on.
The way these heroes interact with one another.
Yeah, it's really fascinating. All right, so the Doomsday is clever here. Means that when Xixo gets his 3-6, he does not stick.
No. It prevents Xixo from getting any of the healing that he's actually starting to need.
Yeah, that's also a good point. There was the option to polymorph the Doomsday, but he knows there's something amiss. Very clever from SeolDaBi, the alleged rookie, trying to find a way to suck out that polymorph.
If SeolDaBi wins this, I'm scratching off where it says rookie.
He's got a Pyromancer, so the reason that's relevant is he can blow up the 1 health minions at some point.
Yeah.
I don't think it matters, because you've got to blow it itself up with another spell as well, and it just seems very intensive on resources. But yeah, scratching that rookie title off, like you just said, is... I mean, you've got this far through a lot of qualifying. I think it's time to scratch it off anyway. He's played well.
Yeah.
He was a little bit nervous to start with, but he seems like he's big enough for the occasion now.
We should be able to work out who wins this now, but it's so hard because of the presence of that Ragnaros Lightlord.
Yeah, and of course the forbidden healings.
Yeah, but and the fact that Xixo, there's no way he knows this deck list. He won't have been expecting Tyrion and Uther and Ragnaros Lightlord.
Yeah, his game plan is easier, I think. He knows what he's got to do. Right, SeolDaBi, how long do you wait before you go for your Ragnaros? And the only question for Xixo is, can you definitely kill these 2/2s often enough to make sure you don't actually die?
Oh.
This is a good turn to play, I think, because you can't ping them both.
True. That's true.
That might be false logic, but...
I prefer this, though. Because this may well eat up the polymorph.
It might. What does Xixo want to do with this fireball? It clears the board if he fireballs.
That's true. At the same time, fireball could mean that you win the game 1 turn earlier than your opponent's expecting.
It could. Well, yeah, no, you're right, it could. The board clear seems good, though, because it forces that weapon charge that he's been holding out of his hand.
Yeah.
There's lots of ways of doing this. It might just be the time to get the valet down, actually.
Xixo's having to think really hard about this one.
He can't really afford to lose this water rally without it gaining him 6.
This has been a very intensive series.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed this series of Hearthstone. It's been a good one. And just looking to see if we get an all-Korean semi-final or whether the rest of the world actually get one on the board. Xixo still doesn't know how he wants to clear this off. I like Fireball, but I can see all the hands and all the cards.
I can't help but think he's going to want Fireball as a surprise win condition.
Actually, I like Fireball and Freeze Face would have been nice there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know what you mean. But if he Fireballs and Freezes Face, that's 3 of the damage back before you start.
You're right, yeah. The reason I think Fireball's worth considering is because SeolDaBi won't be accounting for it. These decks do not run Fireball usually, I'm certain of that. So he'll let his health get low enough and think to himself, it's fine, I can Forbidden Healing next turn, I can Rag Light Lord next turn. And then Xixo just sweeps in, plays the Fireball, kind of cheeses the win.
No, that's a really good call. It's all about calculation. If you can mess up those calculations, it's worth doing.
Surprise
and
damage.
He is going to do this clear we were talking about earlier, which clears his own board, but it does get rid of 2 water Ellies. And he doesn't hero power. So he thinks he's got it.
Okay, he thinks he wins now by not playing anything else ever, which, okay, with the Forbidden Healings is a distinct possibility.
It is, but Xixo's got 12 bursts in hand, 13 with a hero power.
This is where that Fireball could just win him the game.
He's 1 off lethal for this turn, right? 6, 9, 12, 13 plus 4 is 17.
Okay.
But now he plays something, and now Xixo's going to be able to get a water Ellie if he wants it.
It's tight though, he heals for 8. Xixo's going to heal for 3 next turn. This is bizarre.
Yeah, I'm just of the school of let Twitch chat do the maths and the players. I'm going to cast it how I see it and call the back and forth. I'm not going to get the notepad out and write a load of numbers down just yet. But I think SeolDaBi, win or lose, has calculated his options perfectly. But I don't think he can get the job done now.
12 plus.
No, he has. He's got it.
SeolDaBi's won it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has. 12 plus the
play.
fatigue damage is not going to be enough for Xixo. SeolDaBi, the rookie, a rookie no longer. He's taken down Xixo and made his way in as the 2nd Korean player to the semifinals. Both Koreans have defeated both members of Planet Odd.
And SeolDaBi knew how to play that matchup. He saved those equalities that looked useless the entire game, and he knew which point he needed to equality and clear twice, and then when to go silent. He used that last polymorph. He played the turns absolutely spot on, and yeah, fair play to him, and it's going to be all Korean semi, puts a Korean in the final.
I mean, these players now, Xixo, he didn't look too happy, but either way, both guys, they're going to want a bit of a break from Hearthstone for the moment. They've just played a very long series. Even the audience looked exhausted at the end of that game. You could see them all getting up.
They're actually going to have a break. They didn't have a break much after the first match, but they're all having a bit of a stretch this time.
It was just too stressful. That went right down to the wire, and Xixo almost had the burst damage.
1 off lethal the last turn.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think SeolDaBi would have calculated that one, because he'd have expected 2 fireballs or none.
No.
And he hadn't seen any, so. But yeah, he was 1 off lethal.
I'm certain he'll have been expecting none.
And the clear from SeolDaBi was very clever, and then not playing anything. And that stopped Xixo's relentless value game.
Now, I believe that next up, it's going to be Samdi versus Pavel.
Yeah.
So surely Pavel, current world champion, can be the first Western player to topple one of these Korean locals.
Well, it doesn't look like it so far.
We will have to find out very, very shortly. I believe that we're about to go to a break, but once again, I won't know until the screen fades.
Yeah, we have no cue. We're
just out in front of me.
going with it and seeing what happens. But
there's a Korean
caster.
Korean
host. The fact that he's leaving the arena is a good sign that we're probably going on break soon.
There's another
there
one.
There goes the casters. Was that Dawn? Not sure, but hey, you see we're in the B box at this point, and we are off.
See you for the next game, Pavel versus Samdi after this break.